Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to La Pura Neta Show. This is your host, Daniel, and we have Yoni on this side.
¿Qué onda?
On today's episode, welcome Willy Escobar, a 23-year-old mortgage pro who specializes in self-employed clients, investment loans, and is also actively flipping houses. Born in New York with Guatemalan roots, Willy's journey goes beyond real estate. From studying medicine in Guatemala, like he was mentioning right now, to surviving the 2008 market crash. His story is one of resilience, grit, and connection. Please help me welcome the one and only Willy Escobar.
All right, thank you to have me. What an introduction.
Dude, that's so sick. They keep getting pinche ChatGPT,
I'm
huh?
going to call Daniel my new hype man. Yeah.
Woo.
I'll sign up for that. No, man. Willy, thank you, man. Welcome
Thank you.
to La Pura Neta Show. La Pura Neta. We just speak the truth, the raw truth, whatever you're comfortable with, and whatever you're not, we'll cut it, whatever you want.
Let's go all in, brother.
All in, let's get it. Who's
Like Yoni likes it. Just kidding.
Just raw.
Yoni likes it raw.
just like Yoni said. All right, Willy, take us back. Tell us where does Willy? I know you were born in New York,
Yeah.
Guatemalan roots, but take us back. Who's Willy Escobar? Where you come from? Your upbringings?
Come from the west side. I'm just kidding. Okay, born in New York. I'll do this pretty quickly. Born in New York. Parents divorced when I was, I think, about 3. My mom moved to San Francisco. Right, didn't speak the language, had no job. Somehow she made it. So a lot of like who I am as a child. You know, broken household, poor. On government assistance, all that stuff. Used to buy clothes at Goodwill by the pound. Right, so when people talk about, man, I was poor. No, I was poor, bro. Yeah, there was like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 of us maybe in a 1-bedroom apartment. Yeah, and let's see, where shall I go from there? Because I could.
Oh, no, you're good. Keep going, bro. Keep going. So that's kind of where you were raised. You mentioned a little bit that you flew back to you lived a little bit in Guatemala, right?
Yeah, so when I was 12 through 15, I studied in Guatemala. They call it the básicos over there. For you guys, it's called prepa. And that's where I learned to speak really good Espanol. Learned how to read it, write it, speak it. And came back when I was 15. Moved around a lot. That's kind of why I've been unstable in relationships, because I moved around a lot when I was small. Went through tons of different schools, got bullied, got into all kinds of fights. Never lost a fight, for the record. Right? But yeah, that's. I think we all have a past, and my past was very unstable. Very unstable. I grew up an insecure child. I didn't think my dad loved me, right? Because he just never looked for me. He passed away about 2 years ago. I never got to know him. So, if I could share something with people that don't have a relationship with their dad or with their mom, depending on when you're at, figure it out, forgive that person, and have that relationship.
Yeah, that's. I mean, we're starting off strong. That's really key, important. Because
I think we're done, bro. That was it.
Because I know it's hard, especially like in the Latin community, right? Like they hold grudges against people. Like, oh, he did me dirty, f him. Like, fuck him. I don't want to talk to him. Or like, right. Oh, he showed favoritism towards this person, not me. I don't want to talk to my dad, to my mom. So that's very important. That's key.
Yeah, I think it's important. Like you get to, I'm 49 right now, but I've grown so much in the last 2 years, more than I did maybe in the last 15. And that's one thing I would have changed, is let my ego go and just get real with my dad and be like, all right, so why weren't you there? Was it me? Was it you? And most likely it had nothing to do with me. It had to do with, whatever he was dealing with. His dad wasn't in his life. His dad passed away when he was 11, right? So how was he going to be a good dad to me when he really didn't have that? Yeah, so I think it's important for us to just really search deep within and figure out what's going to bring happiness to us.
And it's not about the parents, it's about you. As long as you forgive everyone and you're happy with yourself, that's really the meaning of life, right? Because people think it's for them. Like, oh, I'm going to forgive my dad, but that's for him. No, it's for you.
It's for you to put closure in that, closure, or for all we know, it could develop a relationship, right? For all we know, right? But now your father, right? I'm a father. We have a duty and responsibility to raise our kids different from them. But I don't think you can do it really good to your full potential until you kind of let go of this, truly forgive, right? And if you can't develop a relationship, but no, let go. But at least I do believe that your kid will see that and dude, my dad forgave, right? Mm-hmm. So it's good to forgive. 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important to become aware of things. I wasn't aware of a lot of things growing up, right? I wasn't aware that maybe my dad was going through his own struggles, right? Maybe they could have been financial, maybe personal, mental, I don't know, right? But now that I'm aware of who I am, what I can do is just be a better example to my kids on how not to do things.
1,000%. So, we're gonna shift gears a little bit. I mean, Daniel did mention in the intro, you're in the lending business, right? Did you just come out of high school, enter this business? How did that look like? How did you land in this business?
Yeah, no, not at all. I used to work for a life insurance company. My division was closing down, and one of my buddies said, hey, they're hiring at a mortgage company, and let's go apply. All right, let's do it. I applied, got hired, and I picked that up literally the same day. And of course, it was easier back then. You didn't need to know how to read tax returns, look at pay stubs. It was really just selling. But I understood the concept, which was the equity, the debt ratio, the debt, the credit, and all that stuff. And yeah, I just picked it up right away. And then I started training people. So that's always been my strength is training loan officers. I probably have easily trained 300 loan officers in my career. Yeah, easily, maybe even more. So I picked it up. I enjoyed it and started making money, right? Which was kind of like a bad thing, because prior to starting to make money in the mortgage business, my highest salary was $30,000 a year. Now I started making $30,000 a month, right? And talk about if you don't have the right mentors, the right people around you, right? With all due respect, everyone was learning with me too. Everyone that was in the mortgage business came from nothing. Now everyone's buying, the fancy cars, the 22-inch rims, the diamond Rolex, $2,000 suits, bottle service. It all goes hand in hand. Once you start living that lifestyle, bro, it's like it catches up to you.
Can you imagine Willie on spinners, bro? On 24 spinners?
Dude, I remember that. Yeah.
He's like, I still have them in my garage.
Yeah. Why are you talking shit, bro? That's what my Tesla has.
It's a lowrider Tesla.
No,
right?
when you give, and that's kind of the example of when people win the lottery, and they don't know how to manage the money, right?
Bro, that was me. I mean, there were months where I'm like, holy fuck. Plus, I had a team when I started. Within the first year, I grew a team of about 20 loan officers. Okay, where I was, let's say, making 20 to 25% off of them, and my production. It was crazy money, dude. Just name it. I was blowing it. I was, open bar tabs, traveling, and treating everyone. I was in many ways. I was just dumb with my money.
You had an exotic car too, right?
Yeah, this was this one was a few years ago, but I started driving the Audis, the Mercedes, BMWs, and all that.
Prior to that, when you were. Well, before the crash, right? Because then the crash comes, which we would like for you to share a little more on that. You're getting all this money. Who are you looking up to, though? Everyone's learning, but I'm sure there was someone who he's doing that, he's buying that, so I got to buy it too. That's...
Oh, yeah. It was. I would say it was my manager at the time. And the thing is, his information was the same as mine. It was like, bro, because we're lenders, right? Bro, if you get that one badass car with the rims, what are realtors gonna think? Bro, you're killing it. You're good. So that was a thing. So I remember the office was in Monterey Park, and the whole parking lot, I kid you not, all exotics, all backed in, everyone back in their cars. It was just a show. And that was it. Okay, so you know how to do, calculate debt ratios. Here are the loan programs. By the way, everything was 100% stated. So a gardener was not a gardener anymore. A gardener was a, you know, landscape designer. You know what I mean? And that was it. So you go out into the field, make sure you have your nice fancy watch, make sure it has, you know, diamonds, make sure if there's sun, you kind of like flash people with it a little bit. That's all it was. So everyone was learning from the same person. But again, that was his knowledge too.
That's right.
Yeah.
During that time, was there a point where you felt it that was not you?
Damn, that's a good question, bro. I think until the market crashed, I realized, yeah, that wasn't my thing. Because you get so caught up in that lifestyle, it's so enjoyable.
You're numb, huh?
Oh yeah.
You're like immune to anything else.
It was great, bro. Like I was invincible, right? And I think it was in 06. I ended up opening up an office right here in the Mid-Wilshire district. Almost 8,000 square feet. Mismanaging my money. I mean, I was just talking to my daughter, I think 2 days about it. I had a fancy ass, fuck, what do you call it? The fish.
Fish tank?
Thank you. Yeah. When he walked in, had the fancy fishes, you know, the ones that
A
change
shark
color.
and everything. Damn.
Yeah, it was. I was living kind of in a way, kind of like the Wolf of Wall Street, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, but when the market crashed, plus I wasn't paying my taxes. I hired some guy to do my taxes, right? And I was making so much money, but this guy was like so tranza. He's like, Willie, he's like, you owe the IRS about 50,000, 60,000. I can make it go away, and I can get you a refund. I was like, no way. Let's do it. He's like, but I want 1/3 of that refund. Can you write me a check right now? No, I don't have it because I was blowing I was paycheck to paycheck, bro. And yeah, sure enough, I was getting like the $20,000, $30,000 refunds when I was making $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, maybe more. Then I got caught up with the IRS.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, got caught up with the IRS, and this was already when the market had crashed. So I get a letter from the IRS, hey, you're going through an audit. And I was like, fuck, that was like a whole nother journey. I was in debt with the IRS for like $350,000, with the FTB another $75,000. Oh, it was crazy. Yeah. So like whoever's watching this and you're making money, number one, hire a good bookkeeper, hire a good tax person.
Jesus Christ. Did the IRS like garnish your accounts or?
Well, there was no money in the account. So, yeah. Oh yeah. But at that point, you kind of start learning the system, right? You open up different bank accounts. You open up a corporation. You start hiding from the IRS. But luckily, well, not luckily, but from when the market crashed through probably like 2011, 2012, I was not making any money, bro. Yeah, it was horrible. I got in huge problems with the IRS. Yeah. But again, it has to do with the people that you are around. Because I guarantee you this. So no one was talking about IRS. No one was talking about pay your taxes, put some money away. It was all reinvest into yourself, your brand, your marketing.
Buy the luxury stuff, the just the physical appearance instead. That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's how you lure more loan officers, more realtors that they want to come work with you because you have, in essence, what they have, right?
Yeah, of course, and that's that's what some people are still doing. Although it's a trend that has changed a little bit.
Yes.
Right, because let's say a few years ago the trend was the Lamborghinis, the exotics, the red Ferraris, and all that stuff. So everyone was like, "Man, I want to be like that guy," right? And then you come and learn from that guy, and that guy says, "Well, you gotta get an exotic too. You gotta start buying these kind of shoes. You need a watch." You got to travel. You got to start posting from the fancy restaurants and the champagne bottles and all that. So it's just like a cycle. Now you think you're going to become successful as a result of that. But what happens? You get caught up financially. Now you're really not even investing in your brand anymore. Your brand is flashing your stuff, right? Like I believe your brand is who you are deep down inside, not what people see on IG. It's about, are you reading the right books? Who's your circle, right? Are you investing? Are you changing what's appear on a daily basis? For me, that's my brand right now. It's not that flashy stuff anymore.
No, but I mean, Maxwell, which we read a lot about, right? He says that the lesson will keep appearing until you learn it, right?
Oh,
so it seems like you've learned it.
I learned it, bro.
It seems like you learned it, and that's kind of part of the reason why we're here. That is, and we are in a similar mastermind. So, how important do you feel that was or is your peers, your circle of influence?
Oh, it's huge, bro. It is huge. Like they say you are the average of your 5 closest friends. I truly believe it. Because if your friends are living paycheck to paycheck, somehow you're living paycheck to paycheck, right? Because you're hearing the market's tough, life is tough, no one's working out. Now you start surrounding yourself with people that are right, like our group right here, like Relentless, bro. It's like you don't want to like stay behind, right? Like this morning, I just I'm guilty. I just posted "Good morning, family." Then I was like, "Fuck!" I didn't make time to do my reading, to my journal, but I'll catch up later. But dude, the people that you are around, they can make you or break you.
Yeah, that's what we mentioned the other time. Even subconscious, right? When you don't think, because people say like, "Nah, like I'm not that dumb." Little by little, you'll start getting those habits. You know, even if you're not aware of them, they'll start showing up.
Yeah, and I think if you're in a powerful circle, you're doing your best to catch up as well. Not only because you want to remain as a part of the circle, right? Because people that are highly successful, they're also very picky who's around. Okay, so if you are in that one circle, like they say, in that case, you got to kind of keep up with the Joneses, but in a good way. Yeah, absolutely. That's so important.
Yeah, and that's another part that we talked about on Friday, that you want to be a giver, so you want to provide value into that circle, not just a taker. Because a lot of the people, and we see it in IG, that people come in and reach out for advice, right? Hey, Willie, I want to pick your brain, and I'm pretty sure you get that between other officers. Hint, hint. Try to find a way to give some value to those people you want to seek to, right? I'm pretty sure there's some mentors you want to reach out to. I want to reach out to. So the whole idea is like, how can I provide value to this person so they can give me the light or the time that I want, right? And then when we do, hint again, Maxwell talks about it, right? When we go do again, prepare for this meeting, which I'm pretty sure people reach out to you. That they want to meet, hey, Willie, like, what is a roadmap to doing, I don't know, let's just say 100 loans a year, right? So write it down. And if this person gives you some, what we call sauce, some game, write it down, because the next time you feel this person, you best believe if you're meeting with a good mentor, they're gonna remember. Oh, yeah. Hey, Willie, I know you said you was gonna do the 100 loans this year, and we, kind of developed a game plan. How's that going for you? You best believe if you didn't hold it down, they're probably not going to give you the next appointment.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think, like kind of like the 80-20 rule.
Correct.
Okay, the 80-20 rule. You can give advice to 100 people. 20 of them, maybe less, are actually going to, I would say maybe like 5% are going to take action. The other 95%, when they want that second meeting from you, you already kind of have a feeling they didn't do what they said they were going to do. Then at that point, now you start being picky with your time.
Correct.
Because you don't want to waste your time or waste their time.
Correct.
Right? Like, and anyone that's successful, well, they just guard their time so much. It's crazy. Like I was actually talking to my coach, Eric. What's up, Eric? And we were talking about a game plan. And he was like, bro, stop setting up lunches. Stop setting up meetings. Right? Call people, top producers, people that are successful. They're so guarded with their time. Value that you could bring to them is help them create more time. So stop trying to like get out there and hit the field and do all these things. So now what I started doing as a result, I'm just setting up quick Zooms, quick calls, right? Because highly successful people, their time is their biggest asset.
Yeah. Especially here in LA, it's so hard to get to places, right?
Oh, it is, bro. It is. Like, I really don't set up lunches anymore. Let's say if someone says, hey, let's go to lunch, and no disrespect or anything like that. But I've also learned when you go to lunch with someone, you're more focused on the lunch than on the interaction, right? You're more focused on, man, I'm hungry. You know, are they going to bring me the extra protein, the avocado, and all that stuff? So now, if someone wants to like meet with me, I'm like, hey, bro, like, no disrespect, is it cool if we just do a Zoom? And most people are like, man, that's great. I didn't think we could do that. Yeah,
No, that's
I'll
a
save
hack.
some time.
That's a hack, 100%. I remember there's a book by, you'll probably like it if you've not already read it, Phil Knight, Shoe Dog.
I heard of that one there.
Bro, it's so good. So his masterminds were a 5 mile, 7 mile run in the morning. He's like, you really want to, let's go. You know? And that was part of the reason why we started, remember the early workouts that we used to do?
Yeah.
That was kind of a mastermind. Because like, oh, you really want to come and pick my brain? Let's go. Let's do it a 5 mile run. Dude, you kill 2 birds, 1 stone. Because we're going to work out every day, right? We're going to work out and might as well make it a productive workout and a good, just kind of belly to belly talk.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was just remembering, I think it was about 2 years ago, I reached out to Hector Padilla, right? And I was like, hey, I want you to, be on stage and I'm going to have an event. He was like, tell you what, why don't you come meet me at my house and we'll go for a walk? Now it makes sense. Because he wanted to make sure I wasn't taking up his time.
His time, yeah. You're going to do it at it sounds kind of brutal, but at nighttime. Yeah.
Absolutely. Showed up early and we went through, because he lives off of a Doheny. It's all like hills. And I was all out of shape. And here he is. He's all buff, ex-cop and everything. And I was like, but yeah, that was his thing. It's like it's on my time. So that's respectable when someone does that.
100%. And then you can see how aware, how intentional these people are, not only with their time, with their life, with their decisions, their choices, everything.
Huge. I had a meeting not too long ago, but I have like the worst memory. But I had a meeting and we were kind of just kind of like small talk in the beginning. And then this person said to me, all right, Willie, let's be intentional. How can I help you? I was like, fuck, like right away. Yeah. And now I started doing that too when I meet with people. Hey, bro, I value your time. Let's be intentional. What are we talking about?
And just overall too, right? Like whenever you just go straight to the point, like there's no need to prolong a conversation where, hey, Willie, can you do this for me? Can you help me? Can you give me advice? Instead of like, hey, how you been? Or like, you know what I mean? I feel like nowadays people tend to go around the bush a lot.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm getting out of it. Like, just go straight to the point and ask for advice or ask for whatever you want. Don't just.
Yeah. And I see that. So a good 50% of my clients that I help with their loan, they're well off, and they're straight to the point, bro. Yeah, they don't want to build the rapport and sugarcoat things. And I've been a lender for 23 years. And hey, Willie, so what's my rate? This, more or less, what are my closing costs? Sounds good. Thank you. You'll get an email in the next 10 minutes with my paperwork. Straight to the point. But again, you have to be able to read that person.
It's identifying that client, right? Because I believe that a lot, but also, kind of like the newer client, and I like a lot into like the Hermosi teachings, that identifying the problem, right? Oh, I see you were with the lender, and what are they charging you? Oh, it's 6.5. And why? Because if you can't give them a better than what they're already, then what are we looking for, right? So identifying, and Hermosi calls it labeling the problem and selling the vacation. Okay, so what's the ideal kind of outcome that you want to get out of this? I want to get something closer to the 6. And I'm talking about like closer to the 6, like 6.1, 6.2. Does that sound like it? Okay, if I can get you that 6.1, is that something that you're ready to move forward today? Selling the vacation, right? Because it seems like the last lender you were with, they couldn't do it, right? That's right, labeling the problem. And when you focus just on that, and that's more of a sales tactic, but that's gold, bro.
Oh yeah, that happens many times. Like here and there, I'll get a shopper. I really don't get too many shoppers, but they'll send me an estimate from another bank. They're like, Willie, can you beat that? I can't. That's really good. Just go with that. And people are like, thank you so much, but I'll think about you on the next deal. Great. Yeah.
Take us, all right, great combo so far, but take us buying luxury vehicles, spending your money like crazy, owing the IRS, market crashes. What happens there?
So let's see here. Oh man, I had my baby in 2008. My daughter.
Your daughter?
Yeah. in the middle of the crash. So I had a beautiful house in Pasadena at the time. You know, it's $1 million property plus all these expenses. I had recently got together with Christine, my wife, right? Brand new family, and it was a blended family. So, you know, she came with 2 kids already, and here I am, kind of like on top of the world, new family, and showing the kids, man, life is good, man. Kind of like, check out your stepdad. Your stepdad's the shit. Market crashes, holy shit, bro. Talk about having so many expenses and having no income. Okay, now I sold my house. So something kind of cool happened before the market crashed. One of my buddies said, Willie, you want to sell me your house? And I was like, yes. I was already getting a little tired of the lifestyle. It was a 3,200 square foot house in Pasadena. Wow. Single guy. Wow. But it was good for the parties. That's why I bought it. It had a huge living room. Dude, I had a pool table, big screen TVs, hot tub. It was just a party house, right? So he's like, hey, I want to buy your house. I was like, I'm selling. And, you know, we agreed on the price. Right before we were going to close, I get a call from the lender. He's like, bro, we can't close. I was like, why? He's like, I'm not sure, but some shit's going down. They're canceling a whole bunch of loans. So your guy needs to come in with a down payment. And we're like, what's a down payment? Because everything was stated income. He has to come in with 10%. My boy was like, bro, I don't have it. So somehow we pushed the loan through, sold the house. I got paid, nice chunk of money, and then the market crashes. Wow. Yeah, so luckily I was able to sell, put a whole bunch of money in my pocket. Then we moved to Montebello. We rented, okay? But now I have a high-ass overhead, the lifestyle. That money went quick. Then we got evicted from that house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we got evicted because my money ran out. I was depressed. My wife was working. She was probably bringing in maybe $4,000 a month. That was not enough to sustain a household. And that's when we started having problems over money. Of course. Right? Like people that say, bro, if she loves you, no. If you don't have money as a man, it's going to bring problems because a woman wants to feel stable. A woman, it's kind of like a love language for women. I want to feel taken care of, right? Like, that's my man. You're supposed to go out there and hunt and provide and bring it home. I wasn't doing that. I was depressed, right? Then one day I drove up my mom's car. That's another story. I couldn't afford my car. So my wife's friend rented it for 3 months. She needed it to go back and forth from Palm Springs for her catering business. I borrowed my mom's car and I drove to San Pedro, to one of the cliffs. And I was about to jump off. I was like right there. I was ready, bro. And
sorry to cut you out there. I want to. This is a great story, and I couldn't wait to hear it because I know you had talked about it before. Before you drove to San Pedro, what were your thoughts? Did you reach out to someone? Did you? Because usually we say, like, sometimes it's okay to talk to your friends or family or whoever, how you're feeling, because most of the time as men, we just take it all in and we just deal with it away. Some might want to commit suicide, some might want to do other things or do drugs or alcohol. What were your thoughts, or what were you doing before you got to San Pedro?
I wasn't reaching out to anyone. I think that's you could say kind of like a good and a bad thing about us men. Yeah. We would rather figure it out than tell someone that we're hurting. Right? Even amongst us, even amongst like friends, like brothers, sometimes you just want to say, you don't want to say that you're hurting, whether it's mentally, financially, emotionally. Man, you just hold it in. That's a bad thing. No, but I wasn't, and I was like, man, I'm done with it. I was having issues with my wife. I felt less of a man, right? Because I brought her and her kids in. I'm not providing for them. My daughter's just born. Yeah, I was borrowing money. I didn't have money for a haircut. There's a story. So I did this maybe about 4 or 5 times. I didn't even have gas money, bro. So I was going to the gas stations, suited up, nice suit, because I still had those nice suits, right? And I was telling people, you know what? I happened to forget my wallet. Can I borrow $5 for gas? I did that about 5 times. They're like, oh yeah, of course. They saw me with the nice suit. Oh yeah, of course he forgot his wallet. yeah, oh, can I get your address? Send you $5. They're like, no, it's cool. Keep it. Yeah, I did that for a while. So I was actually like, almost like begging for money, bro.
Wow. Damn. Well, thank you for sharing it, bro. Like, honestly, that's what this show is about, La Pura Neta, because there's going to be somewhere out there, and I do believe that the show is going to impact, whoever is out there and is on a very dark side, and they feel like, hey, like, dude, either I might, throw myself from a cliff or the bridge, or dude, I can't see it. I don't come from money, or I will never be affluent, and which are affirmations too, negative ones. But I'm glad because people can relate to that 100%.
Absolutely. I think most people, well, let's say most men, I might be wrong, a good 90% of suicide, maybe 70%, I think it has to do with finances.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. Finances, not feeling good enough, not feeling man enough. Yeah, absolutely. Because not many men that are financially well off actually commit suicide.
Yeah, it's very few.
Very few.
Yeah, it's actually the ones that are like, man, I can't make my car payment, having issues. That's the easy route. Yeah.
When you got to San Pedro, were there times prior to that you thought about that, or it just you were like,
I did.
Said I'm done. I'm just gonna go straight there.
I did, but then there was something holding me back, which was my family, right? It's like I can't do it. But then I got to the point where I'm not even good enough for my family.
They're better off without me.
I might do them a favor. Plus, I had life insurance. I was worth more dead than alive. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, they're going to come up. Yeah, they're going to be fine. They don't have to be, dealing with, like they say, a brokey.
Yeah. I know it's been some time, but do you remember what, like your thoughts were? Where you're like, nope, I'm better than this. I'm worthy of this. I'm going to go over there and just take care of business.
I remember everything vividly, bro.
So you get to the bridge and then...
Yeah. So it was a cliff. I think it was a Cabrillo Beach. There's like a park, and I literally just had to like hop over the fence and jump. So 3 or 4 things went through my mind. But the first one was this. Kind of funny now. But what if I jump and I don't die? I'm fucked. Yeah. Right? Now I'm a paraplegic. Yeah. It's like, what if I don't die? It's like, shit, that shit's going to hurt. You know what I mean? And I'll be alive to remember it. Number 2 was, who's going to take my mom's car back to her?
She's going to be pissed if she don't get it back.
Yeah. ¿Dónde está mi Corolita? You know what I mean? And then number 3 was, it's crazy because there was 4 things I remember. Number 3 was, I didn't want my kids to grow up without a dad, and I didn't want Christine, my wife, to, have issues as a result of it. And this was the last one because I've always gotten out of situations. I'm very simple when it comes to like taking action. All right, you got this. Boom, a little bit of action, and you're out of it. But not at that time. But I told myself, someone somewhere in the world would be blessed to have your problems, Willie. That I think, and after that I was like, I'm out. Walked away, and then I started, working on myself. I started following Grant Cardone, where I got his Cardone University. I think I had like $1,000 left on a credit card and all that. Bought it, and I started waking up early, and after that, I just took off.
You snowball, just the way one thought can snowball into like, just bad actions. Positive thinking, it snowballs into like positive actions, and it could go the right way.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and I always say it takes the same energy to think positive and to think negative.
Oh my God,
just
bro.
choose wisely. You know what I mean?
Bro, that is so important. Like I can tell you, ever since we started reading the, I always get it wrong, the morning book. What's it called? American Morning. Bro, my mornings are amazing, right? The silence, the affirmations, the journaling, the exercise, the reading, all that stuff. Every morning is powerful. But again, it's a choice that we have. We could choose to not do that and stay who we are, or we could literally change our day by having a certain ritual that's between 30 minutes to 1 hour every single morning.
Yeah, that's your foundation every day, and it sounds. And I know Ricardo and Maxwell talk about this a lot. That when you give someone a lot of success and their development isn't fully developed, it's just like a big 5-6 story building. If they don't have a good foundation, it's just a matter of time where it collapses. And your foundation being your personal development, that's your foundation. If you develop a good foundation, you're in love with yourself, you're in love with your routine, your alone time where you just kind of enjoy you're fully developing yourself, reading the right books, because success leaves clues and they're all patterns. If you follow those patterns, you're building a good foundation. So when, I don't know, you're getting let's just get a breakup on a relationship, the things aren't going as well as you want with the market, it won't break you because you have such a solid foundation. And what I learned from Ricardo, and I always tell everybody, is that we're not here to build a 2-3 story building. We want to build a skyscraper. And in order to build a skyscraper, we need a solid foundation. Like the ones here in downtown. They have like hydraulics and stuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is not too many people talk about that, bro. Right? Like you kind of hear it, you see it in social media, but it's really hard to find a group of people that are really working on that.
There's always... Well, before we move forward, just want to give some nuggets to the audience. I know, like Johnny said, there's probably people who thinking the same, right? Who maybe they want to jump off, they want to do something, get into drugs, alcohol. What is something you will tell them when they're before they get to that point? Because you lived through it, and those 4 things that you thought about helped you get out of it. So, what is one thing that you wish you would have done sooner?
Yeah,
to not get there.
I would say you got this. It's not the end of the world. Again, most of the time it's going to be financial. And if we are having financial issues, it's not the market, it's us. We have chosen to not take certain steps on a daily basis. Okay, so like what worked for me, like getting myself out of that hole, is writing, bro. Like I would wake up 1:30, 2 a.m. because I was like, man, I was ready to start living life. And it was my goals. I started writing, and then actions. Okay, because you can write down goals all day, but what are the actions that you're going to take to get there? And it's not always like huge steps. Sometimes it's baby steps, right? Like if you could take, let's say you haven't been taking action at all, but if you can even start with 30 minutes a day, taking action, feeling good about yourself, now you're rewarding yourself. Like what I did for years, bro, I was going to sleep every day full of regret because I had these amazing ideas, but no action. So I think the regret is like huge. I think that's why a lot of people maybe like commit suicide, because they regret they're not taking action. It's not so much, okay, all this bad stuff that's happening, I don't know how to get out of this hole. And I just don't believe in myself. Like it's dark. Yeah, so start taking action. That's simple.
Just reverse engineer your goals, right? They don't have to be super, like don't go from 0 to 100 real quick. Just little steps.
Baby steps, man.
Break it down.
Yeah, baby steps, 100%. We were talking about it this Friday, but you don't have to. Some of us maybe read for one whole hour in the morning, but you don't have to read for an hour. Honestly, just 10, 15 minutes. I really believe I break everything into like soccer. So in soccer, you build the confidence by knocking down the obvious pass, right? Mm-hmm. In basketball, the pick and rolls, just the isolate, just the baby ones, the easy ones. If you said, I'm going to wake up at 4 in the morning, it might be a little tough. So if you wake up at 7, maybe 6:30, maybe 6:15, and then gradually make progress. And then you said you're going to go work. Dude, I've never met anyone who says they felt angry after a workout. Everyone kind of feels good, right? So do things that feed your soul, not the external world.
Yeah, like they say, the small wins in the morning.
The small. I don't remember who used to say that, but it's like dominate your morning, dominate your life. And I remember,
that's facts.
Yeah, I remember a lot of people was like, oh, bro, because we used to work a lot, right? I was like, how do you do it? How do you work from, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m.? That's hard. Or going, just kind of doing hard things. I was like, bro, try waking up at 3:45 in the morning for 10 years and then just kind of stay in silence. That's a little bit. Try doing cold showers during the winter. That's hard. The rest is easy. But when you start seeing other things that they're easy, everything becomes easier. But it starts with the small wins.
Yeah, you start getting, you kind of start getting like addicted to those small wins. Yeah. Like if you start with a great morning ritual, you're winning. You just can't lose. You literally designed that morning. Your affirmations, your writing, your reading, your exercise. Now you're going a little bit heavier, right? Man, I just won that rep.
You set up yourself for that day to be successful. Because, I mean, you already shower in the morning with cold water. If you get like a hiccup in the business, like come on, like, dude, are you waking up at, like he said, at 5 in the morning to shower? No, so this is nothing. I
want to shift gears slightly a little bit. And I know, and I might get a little personal. You can totally agree or disagree, but you know, and I recently got married. Daniel, soon I will see him getting married. But how important is growing with your partner? Because what I see is, you know, in my opinion, my wife now, she's into personal development.
Beautiful.
And I don't see myself being with someone else that is not with her because personal development, I think that the more you grow, but if your other partner doesn't grow, the bigger the separation.
Huge. Yeah.
So how are you applying, or, you know, just kind of give us your feedback on that?
Yeah. So I think that's huge, bro, because you have to be on the same wavelength. It's very important. Like yeah, your mornings don't have to be the same. Like I don't believe that because you have a miracle morning, your spouse has no. Like everyone's a little different, right? 100%. But as far as like having a mindset of not necessarily like heading down the same path, because like me, like I love leadership stuff.
Correct.
Okay, that's my thing. But let's say for someone's spouse, it could be, let me learn more about nutrition. Hey, that's cool, but we're growing.
Their growth,
right? Yeah. So I think here's what happens in some relationships is that one person's judging the other because they're not learning the same thing. No, it's like, I love leadership, but what if my wife likes nutrition,
fitness? You know,
that's respectable, but you must both be growing, because I do believe in you start outgrowing people. Just like you outgrow friends, you could outgrow your significant other because that person's not working out, that person's not reading, that person's not feeding. Like as a man, you want people to feed your ego, man. You're getting stronger, you're getting smarter, man. You're making money, all that stuff. Oh, it's huge, bro.
Yeah, because as you go on this personal development journey, whether it's leadership, fitness, nutrition, whatever it may be, you're gonna, you know, one of my friends used to say, appetite always gets bigger, right? So the more you learn, the more you want to keep growing, right? So if someone like yourself that you used to do a lot of weights, and now that you ran a little bit, you're like, I did my marathon. What time did you do your marathon?
3:30.
3:30. So I'm pretty sure the next one you want to do like 3:15 or 3, because the appetite just keeps getting. It's like, dude, I want to grow, but it's on a growth journey.
It's huge, bro. It's like your circle can either push you or hold you back.
Make you or break you. Yep.
Absolutely. Just like a spouse, same thing, can push you or hold you back. And again, there's like, you know, nothing wrong with them, nothing wrong with you. Sometimes it's like you're just not at the same pace right now. That's okay. But I highly recommend it.
That's what I tell my girlfriend too. I'm like, you don't have to, like we said, right? You don't have to like the same things that I like, but long as you want to improve and be better every day. Whatever it is that you like, that you're into, by all means. But long as we're every day 1% better every day, that's all.
Yeah, absolutely. Because then resentment starts happening. Mm-hmm. Let's say I'm excited about, you know, A, B, and C, but you know, someone tell me, man, why are you acting all like smart now? Why do you think that
Yeah.
Because I've had friends that told me, bro, like I'm trying to work out and my wife is like holding me back. Mm-hmm. She's asking me why I'm at the gym for 2 hours when last week you only did an hour and a half, and they start questioning. No, you have to push each other all of the time. That's so important.
That's right. And like you said, when you outgrow people, it doesn't have to do just financial wise, right? It has to do self-development, everything. It's just because usually people always tie everything to finances.
Yeah.
Which obviously it is important, but there's more, you know, like just about, like before I met Yoni, you know, like we used to go out and party and we got over it. You know what I mean? So now we're just learning and growing and hanging out with the folks who like to learn and grow, not just party and girls and drinks and alcohol, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point. I was talking to someone about kind of like what was his ideal girl. And we came down to this conclusion. It doesn't matter if she's making money. It doesn't, bro. I mean, what if she's a cashier at Walmart, but man, she treats you good. She appreciates what you do, right?
And she's happy.
And she's happy, and she's working on herself.
That's key.
And she likes being a cashier at Walmart, and she's the best at what she does. I respect that big time, right? Versus finding that girl that fits all the boxes, right? Is beautiful, hot body, has money in the bank, has investments, Like sometimes that girl just doesn't exist. But in order to find that girl, guess what? We got to become that ideal man too.
100%. One of my first mentors, Eric Marty, used to say that girls doesn't. It's like the factory stopped making them. They don't make them no more. They discontinue them.
That's it.
No, you made a good point because my mom, who I love, she's probably one of the happiest humans I ever met. Always worked a minimum wage job, but her joy was having food on the table, cooking for her family. That was her joy, and going to church every Sunday. Beautiful. That was her joy. And 100%, I seen so many other people with much more income than my mom, but they were not even as happy as my mom. Yeah. You know, and I think that's key. You nailed it right in the head there. That is finding that person because I do believe is finding someone who has a true definition of their purpose. Because I give a lot of credit to teachers. A lot of teachers, I do believe that they should be paid a lot yes, more than what they do.
Absolutely.
Because not only do they put up with stuff, but our future depends on them. You know, the next generation depends on them, right? But to see them that regardless, because they were not probably going to make the money they want to make, but they still chose that career, that teaches, to me, that just shows a lot of courage that they didn't give a damn what people said, because probably their families didn't even want to be teachers. Because they know it's not an easy job, and I think your girl works in that field, right? Yeah. But at the same time, they still go out there and they do it. And why? Because they're fulfilling their purpose. Absolutely.
And like your mom, like I love what you shared. I haven't met her, right? But I can just imagine walking into the house, and it felt peaceful. It felt happy. Man, mom's about to make those enchiladas that I like. Like everyone has their purpose, right? Even housewives, right? Like I highly respect housewives because especially if they're providing an environment of peace and happiness. Like as a man, bro, that's like winning the lottery.
Yeah, 100%. Like you don't have to worry about, because there's times where like when you don't feel that at home. You're
why go home
thing, yeah, and you're doing your thing. You're like, fuck, I'm gonna get home and then this and that. So it's
let me
just
drive
like,
a little bit more.
You know, yeah. Let me take the longest route.
Yeah.
I have a very, I don't know if you can answer it because I'm gonna take you back and then I'm gonna pull you now. So
this is really good, by the way, guys.
I know my purpose in life. I didn't know my purpose in life when I was 23. Can you take yourself back on your mid-20s, early 20s when you were already making money? Mm-hmm. If at any point you knew your purpose or you were just going with the motions of the business?
I was just going through the motions of the business. Now, when I started working in the mortgage business, my thing was always training people, helping people win. So I think, like we've been talking about purpose lately, and I'm like, all right, so what's my damn purpose in this business? For me, I think eventually, let's say when I stop producing, it's going to be mentoring people that are like brand new in the business and showing them the right way, like how to be a good businessman. I think eventually that's going to be my thing because I love training people. So I think that's mine.
It's funny because subconsciously, it was there. Mm-hmm. Like you were training people intentionally, you enjoyed it, but it was there. At this point, I do believe you're still, training some people, mm-hmm. and that's and I know you guys heard it a lot in books, that is like, what's one event or what's one activity, what's one business that you would do if money didn't matter? And to me, it's training.
Yeah.
To me, it's like showing people, mentoring people. So it might be, my purpose is more of, no. My heart fulfills with soccer, with the soccer ball. So I want to go tap in that field. But I cannot, right now I got to take care first of my family. And then but I could still fulfill that itch that I have of training, mentoring with the people in the business. So I know it's that route, and that's what, and as of today, are you clear of what your mission statement, of what your purpose is?
I believe it. Yeah, for sure, has to do with the real estate business. Yeah, there's just something about it I enjoy. Now that I've kind of figured out a better way of doing things, now I feel I can really mentor people, because I've mentored a lot of people in the past, right? And it had to do with my capacity at the time. Maybe I was a level 5 to most people, right? But now that I'm working on myself, eventually I can be that level 10 mentor. So absolutely, yeah, that's gonna be my thing, because I've coached people in the past. I've done a lot of seminars, but now that I've really been working on myself, I think I could offer more.
You're gonna mentor these people to life-changing mentorships, guidance. Like, it's stupid, it's incredible, because you're being that person today. I hired a lot of mentors who was like, I did 500, 600 deals 20 years ago, with all the respect, right? But to me, I'm like, what are we doing today? Are we showing up as that person today? So, my mentors, I vet them to make sure they're still doing the work. Not that I don't respect what they did in the past, but to me, what they did in the past, I wasn't there. And honestly, the market was very different. The business was different. We're in another era. So I make sure that my mentors are still doing the work today. It doesn't mean that they're producing, but they're still working on themselves today.
Yeah. And I bet you anything, they are amazing people too.
Amazing.
Yeah.
They're great fathers.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because I think that there's a mentor can be a mentor in different things, right? But there's nothing like learning from a mentor that not only is doing well financially, but is a great father, right? Is well-rounded, is reading, working on themselves. Like, to me, that is like the right mentor, because I've had mentors in the past that it was just about the money, it was just about the show, it was about the, hey, I'm getting those hot chicks. That's what they were good for, right? Now like all of you guys are actually my mentors. We're part of the same group. I'm learning from every single person, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm actually doing a little better now that none of you guys can tell me how to run a mortgage business, because you're not in the mortgage business. But as a result of learning self-improvement from all of you guys, I've become a better human being. Now I'm winning more.
Oh,
1,000%. Yeah, like you said, well-rounded individual. It's not just one thing, and you do one thing right and everything else is wrong. Like, no, it's not everything has to be perfect, but everything has to be improving.
Absolutely. Like I think money is a result of who you are, who you are becoming.
And I'm going to give you something, Willy, that a lot of people, I know you said earlier, don't teach this, don't show this. Do you know why?
I think there's a few reasons. One is they are not practicing it. Yeah, because I think someone well-rounded wants to teach that stuff, right? Like, I mean, what I've learned in our group is like, man, everyone, we're not even talking about business too much, which is very interesting, because I thought the group was about business, right? When Cristo said, hey, talk to Yoni, I think you'll talk to him and maybe you'll fit in or whatever. I thought it was going to be about numbers and this and, hey, had a great month. Yeah, but I got in there and I was like, oh shit. I was like, all right, this is different. But everyone in there is doing well.
And don't get me wrong, I could read you P&L form, like sheets, and I was like, dude, why are the expenses so high? Like, I'm a geek, I'm a nerd when it comes to that. I was like, dude, I love that. But we work on our foundation, and the foundation is development every day. So my answer to that, why people don't teach it, and there's so many people recruiting, but they only focus on the production, is because personal development in our foundation, it doesn't pay. It doesn't pay. There's
Yeah,
no.
that's
There's no.
right.
What are the splits here? There's no splits. Hey, Willie, read this book. There's no split there, and that's why people don't teach it. But if you teach it, there's no pay instantly. But over time, if you change your life, if you let's just say you're part of my team and so on, if you change your life, you best believe I'm gonna get compensated. Maybe not today.
Absolutely.
Maybe not in 12 months. 36 months, there's going to be something bigger, and my compensation might be that I changed your life and we changed each other's life and we had massive success.
And that's like winning the lottery. Like, I know that's what you do with your team. Alan has a team too. Ricardo has a team too.
Yeah,
Everyone's teaching personal development.
everyone's teaching personal development.
Yeah, like it's I think it's just like a responsibility.
Yes,
It really is, right? Like, if people are working with you, obviously you're going to benefit financially. So it's kind of like value and value. But let me really help you win because I care about you and I want to see you and your family happy.
yes, because I seen in other teams, and we were talking about it earlier, that especially in all businesses, whether it's real estate, solar, all that, people are so worried about recruiting, because recruiting production means money. But if you recruit personal development, and then obviously you go out there in the field and hunt, bro, that's quantum. That's not only money, you're changing people's lives, you're changing people's generation, bro. That's like full rounded.
Yeah.
But people don't teach it, obviously, one, because they're not doing it, and two, I think because that has no instant money reward, and last, because it's fucking hard.
Yeah. Imagine how much more successful real estate companies or any company would be if they hire based on personal development. Here's what we teach, and kind of like, where are you at? Talk to us. Versus, what's your production? Because that's what everyone wants to know. That's why there's such a bad culture in most companies, because they're not getting to know the individual. They just look up their numbers, right?
On results, yeah.
Yeah, I have a system. I look up people's numbers. Okay, so I'm like, okay, I want to connect with this person, this person, this person. Now, once I meet them in person, now it's a different story. Now let me kind of gauge who you are as a human being, and then we're doing business. Because in the past, who I was, it's based on what exchange do we have here. Now it's more like, what exchange can we have up here and here. And that's how me and my business partners are. All of them, we got to be able to connect. If we're transactional, it doesn't feel good anymore.
Has to be more than just that. Now, with all the success that you had and that you're having now, what's your definition of success, and how has it been changing over time?
Wow, good question. Definition of success is peace, bro.
That's good.
Bro, I am so at peace. I am happy. It's just crazy, but it has to do with the work that I'm doing on myself. Figuring out what Willie needs to work on. How can I become a better human being for others, for my kids? For me, that's wealth. The money is not wealth.
So now with what you just said, if you could give yourself one advice to your younger self to be where you're at now, what would it be?
Oh man, so much, bro. Let's start with personal development. I really didn't read much before, right? I've always told myself I have ADD and I can't retain information, right? I was like a below C average student, always, bro. Even I went to like 4 or 5 different junior colleges, didn't work out. Obviously, it wasn't my thing. Work on yourself. If you want to succeed in business, it begins with what's up here and what's in here. The money, it will come as a result of the value that you provide to others. Number 2 is, be better with your money. I've blown so much money because I was around the wrong people. Because the people I was around, they were blowing their money too. Guess what? Well, let me blow it, because I don't want to stay behind. I don't want to be the only one that's not flashy, right? Number 3 is find the right mentor. Very important, okay? Your ego must stay at the door. If you are not ready to be mentored, don't go out there and look for a mentor. Because there's people that say, I'm looking for a mentor. You're not ready to be mentored. Your ego is way too big. right? Yeah, I'll share with you guys a really quick story. I'll never forget this. But when I was actively hiring in my mortgage company, I wanted to get to know the individual really well. And there's someone that came to my office, and I'm all about vibes, bro. Like right away, 5 seconds, I know we're gonna vibe, we're cool, it's gonna be great. There's something about that gut feeling, right? And someone walked in because he wanted to work with me, and I just got a bad vibe right away, right? And he showed up all like Gucci'd out and everything, and I was like, all right, that's cool, bro. I was like, hey, so what can I help you with, bro? Like, you're here because you want a job here, but why me? Like, what can I help you with? No, I'm good. Just want to see what you have to offer. That interview lasted, I kid you not, 30 seconds more. I was like, okay, so I can't help you. That means your ego's too big. Thanks for coming, brother. That was, yeah. So you have to be open, man. You have to be open to sharing with people. I am not perfect. And people will appreciate that, because there's nothing like someone showing up and saying, man, I got it all figured out. My shit don't stink, man, I'm good. No, you got to show up like a humble human being. Yeah.
No one is perfect. And like we always say, like self-development, it's a lifelong thing. Like when Ricardo will post, he will wake up at 2:30, and what will he say? Like, oh, I'm catching up to my
success.
Because he didn't do that for so long. Like he's waking up at 2:30 to do it. That's when I was like, if someone like himself is doing that, like why would I get on a high horse thinking, oh, I wake up at 5?
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's just a lifelong journey.
It is, bro.
Yeah, but also, Willie, I do believe that these people who weren't probably in the right space, that you kind of, the environment when you were blowing money at the same time, God was trying to show you a lesson.
Oh yeah, big time.
That was kind of, sometimes it takes a severity of something that big. I went through a car accident in 2007, ended up in prison, but it takes something that bad for us to get on a straight path. If we would have just kind of like here and there, little speeding ticket here, probably would have never learned a lesson. So you probably needed to go through all of that to be the Willie today.
Absolutely. So money has always, like, thank God, and I say this from a humble place, proud place, money's never been hard for me to make. It's been hard for me to keep. Because I love, I still like spending. Right? But yeah, absolutely. Now I'm 49. I'm 49 right now. Gonna be 50 in December. Like some people think, oh man, I'm gonna be 50 and I don't have my shit together. I'm like, it's not that hard to get your shit together. Like I've learned a lot in the last 3 years, where some people would be like, man, Willie was 46 3 years ago, barely figured things out. No, it's like it's never too late.
Never too late.
Yeah. 100%. And then it all starts now, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're all like battling our own race, because a lot of people, I find that so mind-boggling. It bothers me so much that people compare themselves to other people. Like, oh shoot, he's 40 and he has this, bro. Some of us started with advantages. Some of us didn't start with these advantages. My parents never bought a home, so it was kind of like the disadvantage. But that disadvantage is the drive, bro. To me, I was hungry. Like,
oh yeah,
I want to just fucking do it, right? Because we didn't have these advantages. So, and it's not, even if you come from a family who has money and stuff like that, it's hard. You know why? Because they don't have to go to work. They don't have to. So it's so hard, and that's why this whole development is, to me, the most important thing, because that's how you truly develop as a person.
Absolutely.
You said,
yeah.
Being humble goes such a long way, dude. It pays lifelong dividend.
Yeah, and it's all perspective too, because I remember I was having a conversation with Luther. I think it was maybe like 6 years ago. And I just shared with him, you know what, like based on my age, like I feel I've made so many mistakes in the past, right? All financial, by the way. Again, I love spending it. And sometimes like some mistakes that I've made, it's because I didn't think about them. It feels good, right? I had that adrenaline rush about spending money. and I share with them, I wish I would have done things different and based on, where I'm at in life. And he told me something that I was like, oh shit, I'll never forget that. He said, bro, like, I know people that are your age that they want peace. They're selling all of their shit right now because they want to be able to sleep at night. I was like, oh, wow. Right? That had me thinking. It's like, okay. So now it's like on a daily basis, I'm like, all right, what's next? What's next? Because I do, of course, want to get to the point where I retire. But now I think it's just about the daily wins.
Oh, yeah.
Daily baby wins.
100%. But now, Willie, you're 49. But now you're so much wiser. So every step you take, it's a measured step.
Absolutely.
According to the kind of stage you are in your career. So you don't have to blow that money, buy those unnecessary, whether it's cars, clothes, whatever you call it, right? So now we're a lot more measured with our expenses and now our investments, right? So I think you're starting the perfect age, dude.
Absolutely, yeah. And I don't feel I need to impress anyone anymore. I just need to impress myself and my kids.
That's key right there. Because what we see now on social is everyone posts, we always talk about it, right? We always mention it. Everyone posts their wins.
Right.
But never their failures, their lessons, So it's just like, who are you really trying to impress when you're doing things out there? Do it for yourself.
So oh man, social media is, it's crazy. Like one thing I'm going to start doing more, thanks for the reminder, bro, is I'm going to start posting more of the failures, more of my real experiences. Because I think people want that, man. Yeah. Everyone's like sugarcoating how much they're making and all this stuff when things aren't really right.
And that's another part of La Pura Neta, right? To share your lessons, your failures, what you did to overcome them, because we only see the bright side on the other end on socials. But they don't know that Willy drove to San Pedro, and now I'm thinking, if I go through that, he did it, he overcame that, and he's successful now, then that means I got a chance. There's always light at the end of the tunnel, but we just have to share it with the folks,
Yeah. Bro, you never know when you're going to help change someone's life. So obviously you guys are going to air this. I shared that experience with, I did a podcast with Andy, right? He posted that. I had a few people reach out. It's like, hey, bro, like I'm going through something too. And I tell people, bro, let's get on a call. Let's get on Zoom. What do you need? Right? Because you just never know, man. You just never know how making something real simple for someone else can change their life.
100%, dude. Yeah. Well, 1,000%. Thank you for opening it, because I've seen in the past, when we're not going in the kind of the direction that we want to go. You talk about the experience that you got evicted. A lot of people feel like it's the end, and then they start making an affirmation, which that affirmation is like, well, I'm just not a morning person. Well, my parents did this, so I should be doing this. And at that point, you start already wiring the mind of this is what my life should look like. And subconsciously or consciously, who's watching? Our kids. Yeah. And now you're programming them, So I do believe that it's Daniel and my responsibility to share that to as many people as we can, so we can just create that curiosity, as Kobe Bryant said. Just be curious. What if that could be me? What if and there's and we use the material stuff to gauge, but what if instead of driving my Honda, I could actually drive that BMW, and it's just a way of inspiring. Not that the material, not that the car's gonna make me, right? But what if, just be curious. And I was like, well, these crazy guys talk about reading every morning and working out. Let me try doing that. Let me see how that feels like. You're gonna fail because eventually, what's your definition of failure? Just getting closer to the goal. I'm gonna fail, and then I'm gonna get closer to it. But you know what? I feel really good when I go to work. These guys talk people and follow the patterns of success. Les Brown, I'm not a fan of Cardone, but he used to be good. And follow these other guys who are very positive and do the patterns, because success leaves clues. And dude, I'm gonna do my best every single day. I'm not gonna take anything personal. I'm not gonna make assumptions. I'm gonna just follow these patterns of success. Dude, I feel good. Oh shit, the richest man in Babylon talks about saving 10% of your income. Shit, I could never save more than $1,000. Through this year I made the commitment. I saved $7,500. Dude, nobody in my family has ever bought a home. Let me try doing that. Willie, Willie, how much do you think? You need 3.5 down for down payment, etc. Let me walk you through the pattern. If someone's just trying to press you to go on it, just kind of maybe back off a little bit and just kind of restructure your goals. Boom, now you got a game plan. Shit, everything's not feeling good. I bought my house and oh shit, I hit a roadblock. I have a bad tenant, etc. Let me figure out. Let me go study the patterns of success. Because to me, that's the most important thing. That's what I get from the books. Study the patterns of success and also study the patterns of failure. Because those give a lot. Those give a lot of wisdom there of what not to do. So if we go, dude, those are the patterns. And then, but it all started changing by like curiosity. And I get that from Kobe. Yeah. Kobe said that, not me.
Yeah. I also think some people get stuck in the past by choice. Because a lot of people talk about, well, my parents were poor. They never bought a house. No one saved more than $1,000. Therefore, that's kind of like where I'm at. No, like you already know that's bullshit. So what are you gonna do about it? There's so much information out there. Like even through social media. Man, you could literally get inspired just by looking at quotes or whatever floats your boat. But that information's there. Now, whether you choose to do something about it or not, or you get stuck, that's an excuse right there.
It's choice.
It's a choice, absolutely.
I used to remind myself when I was like real young, I was like, I don't know who I heard this from, and I'm pretty sure it was at my letter or something like that. If you were, if you were born poor, it's not your fault, but if you died poor, it's your
responsibility. Oh my God.
And it's something like that. I heard him years ago, and I was like, and I used to just remind myself every day, like, no, it's my responsibility. I'm in control. I'm going to go out there and do my best. And it was to him, along with the book, The 4 Agreements, that I just took by to this day. Those are kind of part of the team cultures, of not taking personal, doing our best, not making assumptions.
Yeah, that's a great book, The 4 Agreements. But I always say it comes out because it's not easy, right? It's hard, especially like if you come from nothing, no circle, no finances, no nothing, it's hard. It's not perfect. From one day to another, you're not going to be like, okay, I'm in the right path. I'm going to be sick. No, it's going to take time. And it's just a matter of you thinking like, what if I could do it? Or like, what if, as long as, going back to what we mentioned, right? The 1% better every day. Even if it's not noticeable, you did your journal today. Yes, tomorrow you will read 15 minutes and then do the journal. That's already a small nugget. That's going to count. The compounding effect, right? 1 penny a day for 30 days, it's more equals like a shit ton of money than just one lump sum.
Yeah. And I think it's really hard to do it alone too.
Yes.
Right? Like what do you, I was thinking about it this morning. Let's say for someone that, now I'm asking you guys, right? For someone that does not have a circle, but you don't have the value to provide a good circle. So how do you get in that good circle? Because I've been asked that question before. And I think you attract it, right? It's who you're becoming that eventually you start blending into the right.
That's your answer. You answer your own question. Right. I think in my perspective, I think that will be it. Because at the end of the day, like you just, it's like they say, like for us we're born in Mexico, right? No somos ni de aquí ni de allá. So we're two Mexican, two American to Mexicans, and two Mexicans to Americans. So we're just like in the limbo, right? So what am I gonna do? Just work on myself. Like forget about everyone. Just being 1% better every day. Eventually, it's like running now, right? Like now, back then I used to run with the slow people, nothing against them. But now I stay in the front with the people who are running sub-3 marathons.
You worked your way up there.
Yeah, so it's little steps, one day at a time.
Which, congrats on your marathon, bro.
Thank you, appreciate it.
I know Mexico City marathon, so he did it. That's huge. To answer your question, Willie, I do believe exactly what he said. It's just, it's gonna get lonely. It's funny because I met Ricardo like 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was about, I sold him a property. And I wanted to be his friend, but I kind of knew that the only value I could have brought was bringing properties. So I brought him a ton more properties, and then he's like, dude, like, what do you do? Like, kind of like, so he got curious into mentoring me.
Wow.
But I provided so much value, but I knew that I couldn't just hey, let me pick your brain. It doesn't work that way, right? But I've probably been journaling for 10 years, bro. 9 years or give or take. And I probably missed 5 days. I haven't missed like more than 5 days.
You're very consistent.
And I'm just like on it. And I just believe that by me journaling, by me praying, by me reading, that I'm becoming a better person. And by default, I just started attracting these relationships. Danny is a good friend of mine. Luther became a friend of mine, and the people that, and you know, have other good mentors that by default, by me not reaching out to them like, hey, can I take you out for bread? They reach out to me. He's like, hey, I want to invite you here. I want to invite you here. I was like, dude, this is really cool. Mm-hmm. Now I have. It's been really cool that I have doctors and attorneys that I could just text and ask a quick question, and they'll text me back. But it's the person who I became through the whole process. And like you said, it's long. I've been working on my development. Probably started at 18. I'm 36 now. So I've been pretty consistent throughout. I had a few setbacks, like, you know, that you're going to get lured into like the nightclubs and stuff like that. But I always kind of stayed consistent with it. I'll fall off here and there. I'll journal for out of 7 days, I'll probably journal 3 to 4 times. I was always kind of consistent, but not too consistent. But right around 2017, I got really consistent. No bullshit. Every day read, every day pray, everything. And I just started compounding. In 3 years, I'm like, whoa, like what happened, right? And then you outgrow your circle. You know, you keep the people who are, you know, really good. You have really good values. And then a new set of friends come in. And then a new set of friends come in. And not that you say no to the old ones, but hey, it's time to keep growing. It's time to keep growing. And just to answer that, very simplifying is, your development is your foundation. Mm-hmm. And how fast do you build a foundation? Not very fast. It takes him, how long do you think? 2-3 years to build this whole building? Yeah. And the foundation, probably most part of it, right? Because you're gonna build a good foundation. And if you really want to just, como decimos, rozarte los codos with these affluent people, you gotta build a good foundation. You gotta build a really good foundation, because these not myself, these really successful people will know how little you know, how fast and how stupid you start talking right away, right? So just observe everything, take everything in, and then slowly it will eventually unfold. Trust and believe in this process.
Yeah, your foundation is unbreakable.
Yeah, 100%.
Should we? I know.
You got the rapid, right?
Yeah, you got the rapid. I know we've been. I mean, we could go for days. It's great.
Yeah,
it's been a great combo, and there's much more that we could share. But we do have some rapid fire questions. Just say 2 things. You pick whichever one you prefer best. Then we'll go from there, just to get to know you a little more.
Okay.
All right. So we got books or podcasts.
Damn, that's a tough. Podcast.
High risk, high reward, or slow and steady?
Slow and steady. Before it was the other way around. Slow and steady.
Crypto or stocks?
Stocks.
Impact or income?
Impact.
Truth or peace?
Oh, damn, bro. Peace.
Peace. Healing or evolving?
Healing. That's very good questions.
Football or football?
What was the first one?
Football.
Oh, football. I love soccer, by the way.
Now, I know you said podcast, but this one will be reading or audible?
Reading.
La chancla or timeout room?
Timeout room.
Boxing or UFC?
UFC.
UFC, all right. Rancheras, Latin music, or hip hop? Rancheras, all right. Good to know.
Dude, in Guatemala, they listen to rancheras a lot.
Oh, yeah, big time.
A lot.
Okay.
Yeah, woof.
That's why I added the Latin music.
Like Tigres del Norte, let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's the OGs. Yeah, man, I mean, those are some of the rapid fire, just so we and then the audience could also know. We could end with the last question, I guess. You want to go?
Yeah, so Willy, well, first of all, thank you for making time.
Thank you, guys.
Today is a Sunday.
Great
and thank you for making this space and just being fully open with us, right? Because that's really what we stand for, just being raw truth. How can people find you?
I would say the best way is on IG, the Willy with the Y, the Willy Escobar. No relation to Pablo Escobar.
So, that's how you can find you. And at the same time, how can we serve you to grow your business?
Good question, man. The best way is if you guys need a mortgage, I'm here. I do W-2. My specialty right now is working with self-employed people, developers, flippers, entrepreneurs, influencers. If you have like a tricky loan, I can most likely help you.
Can you just break that down a little bit? Like maybe people who earn cash or what is that?
Yeah. It could be someone self-employed. Let's say like you guys are self-employed. I can help you. You walk into Wells Fargo, they cannot help you.
And by self-employed, that's like if I'm a barber and I get paid Zelle, can you help me?
Absolutely. Yeah, we can go off of bank statements. We can go off a fat bank account, right? I think it's very important for people to know that there are options. That's why I'm sure you guys have maybe seen on my IG, I'm focusing more on the self-employed people. Yeah. There's very little information.
And I say that because a lot of our family, our culture, and by that I mean Hispanic, Latinos, minorities, we're gardeners. We're the people that pick up the junk removal, bro. They make a lot of money, right? They make money, but the information is not there. It's like, it's because I don't report like big income. That's why I can't. But there's bank statement loans, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like most of like our Latino families, right? They bank with Banco de America, right? It's the thing. They don't want to go to Wells Fargo. Vamos al Banco de America. But what happens when you walk into Bank of America and you ask someone, hey, I don't file strong tax returns or I don't file tax returns at all. Can you help me? The answer is always no. So then they went from a trusting relationship with a bank to ya nadie nos quiere ayudar.
Yeah. And that's it. So you heard it, guys. When the banks say no, Willy dice que sí, aprobado.
I like that.
That was good. Well, yeah, there you guys have it, guys. Thank you, guys. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We're gonna add all Willy's details, Yoni's, and myself. So if you have any questions, don't be afraid to reach out to Willy, Yoni, or myself. Thanks to you guys for watching again. We'll see you guys on the next one.
See you guys on the next one.
That was great, guys.
That was good.